Hello, 'tis I, Paul, that's me. Well, today I have got work, but after going to Brooklands yesterday and seeing all those fantastic minis, I've decided I've had to come down the garage today and do something. Don't know what yet, but something. Well, I kind of do know what. I've got an idea of what I want to do. You know the seam finisher trims that go down, ooh, there we go. So these trims, oh God, I can't move my hand in the right direction. There you go, way. That's hard to do, you know, when you're looking at yourself. So yeah, them seam finisher trims, I've got them. They're not in bad condition, they're not great. So that's something I did look out for at Brooklands yesterday, but I only saw a couple and they're the wrong ones. I've got a couple of good ones and a couple of okay ones, and the ones that were for sale there were the ones I already got, so didn't buy them. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's my plan. I'm just going to rub them down a bit and I'm going to repaint them because the paint job I did on them in the first place hasn't come out that good. It's a bit patchy and I didn't really rub them down very well, so I've got to do a better job of that today. And so it's only going to take me a couple of hours. Rub them all back, mix up a bit of paint, throw the paint at them, and that's another bit done. So anyway, let me just show you what I got at Brooklands yesterday. Really too interesting. Yeah, that's it. So these are the stainless finisher trims, and also in here are two washer jets, because I will tell you a little story about my washer jets in a minute. So I've got two of those, and I've got the door panel poppers. I think these were, they're both off a mini mine, and these were 10p each, they were 20p each, and the washer jets were £2.50 each. So pretty much the most expensive thing I bought at the shop. So the washer jets. Sorry, thought I heard something. Washer jets. Bit of a story about them. If you can remember going back to one of my previous videos, I fitted Ford Focus washer jets to the scuttle panel, and they were supposed to be these mist type jets. So maybe you're supposed to have a high pressure pump for them, so maybe that's the cock up as well. I really don't know. Let's get that light out on my face. But the cock up is, I fitted them all. I've got some water in the screen wash bottle the other day, and I pressed the screen wash button, it squirted the water, and the water went in a straight stream straight into the bottom edge of the windscreen rubber, so it didn't even hit the glass. Oh. Look at them, you can't adjust them, they're just moulded plastic. So I lifted them up out the scuttle panel and pointed them much up towards the glass, leaving them up a bit, and it didn't make the slightest bit of difference. They just touched the bottom of the glass, so that's no good. So I had to buy another couple of screen wash jets, so I've got to pull them out today, get the proper mini ones in there. So bit of a balls up, but hopefully the holes that I've drilled in the scuttle for these Ford Focus washer jets isn't too big for the mini ones, because otherwise I'm not going to be too happy with myself. But there we go. Yeah, let's crack on and get the truck out, get the seam finisher trims out, and start sanding. Didn't think I was going to be doing that again, but there we go. So I'm going to get that done. And what I'll do now, I'll show you some video from, well, some video and quite a few pictures. Not that many. You're not going to be bored, trust me. It's probably about 30 seconds of video and about 15 pictures. So all from yesterday.
This is us,
just a few cars
just about to leave
and
Shoreham by Sea.
Here we go.
Just having a bit of a gather up and a talk.
As they say.
And me, my daughter's boyfriend, and my daughter in the car. That's just queuing up into Brooklands. And here we go, Tim the Spanner Man. There he is, looking very stunning there, Tim, in your Dave Jaguar top. This V8 Mini, wow, that was really, really good. Very well done. tucked in there nicely. This little Mark 1 here had a really sparkly roof. Just thought I'd put that in. And this is sort of a bit of a pan round of from the bottom of the bank. There's a lot of cars there this year. A lot of cars. There must be a lot that have come out from being restored and being done. Oh, and I had to look at this cylinder head on this one. That was pretty cool. Yep, there's the row of cars. Look at that. And this guy, wow. I love it. Look at that. Look at that.
Well, so that was Brooklands. It was a really sunny day, which made a massive difference. The only downside to it was there was no trade there. There was mini mime there, and a couple of stalls selling used parts. Literally, it was a pretty poor thing for trade. So that's another one to consider for next year. If mini mime pull out next year, then it's not really worth going to the show. It's one of them things that it's not a million miles from me. It took us about an hour to get there, if that. So it's pretty close. But you go there, you go to these mini shows for parts, don't you? You know, you go and have a little shifty round all the stalls and what have you, and then go and look at some cars, stand around, have a chat to a few people. So, oh, and on that note, thanks ever so much for all the people who come up and said hello to me yesterday. I felt quite famous in some respects, not that famous, but I think I counted 6 or 7 different people that said, "Oh, Paul, oh, hello, yeah, I'll watch your videos," but wow, okay, that's brilliant. And also a big thank you to Mark Piper. Not only for coming up and saying hello, I've met him before at Bingley, but yeah, he came up, said hello, and then I bought some rear quarter windows off him. So not only did I go to Weybridge in Surrey, I think it's Weybridge, to go to Brooklands, I then drove all the way home. I then contacted Mark, and then drove all the way to his place in Kent to pick up these windows. So, but he does a good deal. I offered him some money. He said, yeah, so that's good. My windows have got a load of welding splatter over them, and I'm a bit disappointed with them. I shouldn't have really fitted them, but I did. So yeah, I've got to pull them windows out, fit the windows I've got down here. They're the ones I got off for Mark. There they are. They're so clear, I can't even see where I'm pointing my finger. But yeah, a couple of windows. So thanks a lot for that, Mark. Really appreciate that, mate. Putting your time out to sort them out for me. Right, and now let's get on to this finish. Oh, I can't get my words out sometimes. I'm terrible. Must be my age. Seam finisher trims. Let's get doing them. Right, I'm not quite set up yet, but I've flatted all these back, cleaned them up a lot, and as you can see, I've put little rivets in the ends of them and stood them up on here. So hopefully, move that across just a little bit. I might have to put another couple of rivets in the middle bits just to lift them up off that mat a bit more. But nice sunny day, as you can see by my shadow. Yeah, can get ready to paint these now. Right, just flung the first coat of paint at them. Don't know what you can really make out in the video, but it's all right. Obviously a little bit thin at the moment, but that's the way it's meant to be. So there you go. So what I'm going to do once I've finished painting these, I'm going to move them out into the sun a little bit more, get the Mini down and change them rear windows. Plenty to do, all before work. It's amazing. Pat myself on the back. There you go. So going back to Brooklands a little bit, just want to say that my mate Cole's K-Series powered Mini that was getting massive attention yesterday. Loads of people asking, well, Carl mainly, but you know, it's a few questions and how did you do this, how did you get around that problem. So that was getting a lot of attention yesterday, so that was pretty good. Felt quite proud of that really, because I had obviously big influence on building that thing with him. So but yeah, there was 2 minis there, both with V8s in them. I've got a couple of pictures, as you'll see in the clip that I previously showed you, of the black one, but there was also a yellow really wide arched thing with it's twin turboed as well, I believe. Didn't actually get a good look round it, if I'm honest, but yeah, some really good cars there yesterday, and the weather that just made it, really did. So well, not going to keep on repeating myself. It's been about 5 minutes now. Going to leave it about another 5 minutes. I'm going to chuck some more paint at them. Blimey, I can't believe I'm doing all this before work. I'm usually just lounging around doing sod all. So that's good, really. Right, an MOT next week. Well, these little beauties have come out all right. I'm really quite pleased with the finish on them this time. It just goes to show, a little bit of sunshine, beautiful sunshine, and all the difference that's made. There are a couple of still little marks on them where I've bloody missed a little, I don't know if you can see it there, missed a little bit, didn't rub that back properly, but hey ho, the rest of the car's not that good anyway. And it's all going to be repainted, so not too bad. I'm quite happy. I've got the new windows in new rubbers, so I'm just going to pop them 2 windows out, swap them over, and get them in, and then pretty much that's me done for the day. I'm not going to fit these today because obviously the paint will still be soft for a few days, so I'm just going to sit them on the back of the truck, let them go off. Obviously I've got all the clips for them, and then just pop them on another day, probably maybe tomorrow morning. Let them go off properly. Right, okay, let's do these windows. I might show you actually. Squeeze round here, let me grab. I think probably most people know how to get these windows out the easy way, and that's to cut them out. But the problem is you don't want to put the blade too far through, because you end up scratching. I'm going to point in and not pointing the camera. You'd end up scratching the inside of there, and that gives you rust. So you've got to be pretty delicate when you're actually cutting them out. I did put these in, but I've just tried to push it all out of a screwdriver and my foot and all that sort of thing, so I may have to cut them out. I thought I'd bring you on this little cock up. When you take these new rubbers out of the packet, they naturally lay with this bit on the inside. So I just wrapped that round the glass, started banging it in the car, and I'm thinking, hold on, this doesn't look right. Because if you can imagine, that's the inside, and I don't know if you can see the profile there, there's like a little ridge, and I'm thinking, well, what's that then? Then it dawned on me after I'd nearly got the first window 75% in. I thought, hold on, the rubber's inside out. So I had to pull it all back out again and flip it over, and yeah, I've got the rubbers inside out. But I say it naturally lays with this bit on the inside, so you have to kind of force it inside out. Well, you know what I mean. So yeah, so there you go. Anyone who's thinking of fitting sealed rear windows, you can get these on the wrong way around, and it will go in the car as well, but it just looks a bit odd. Right, so we're now inside the car, and as you can see by finger time again, I haven't quite got the window in yet, because I thought I'd just maybe help someone out and say how I do this. I will say it's probably not the right way, but this is the way I do it, and I've had success every single time. Some people put string around it and pull the string through. I've seen varying bits of success with that. I've also seen the rubbers tear with that as well. So I like to be a little bit more picky with how I do that. Now, front and rear windows, I always fit the rubber on the car and then fit the glass to the rubber. because you've got that little infill strip, so that bit flaps up quite easy, and you can actually get the glass into the rubber fairly easy. These side windows, the fixed side windows, they're a little bit of a different story. As you can see, holding my pick tool, it's going to be difficult to do this holding the camera and doing this with one hand, but you'll get the idea. It's a bit of a slow process, but you're sure not to tear the rubber and the window will just pop itself in. You might get a couple of bangs from the outside just to help it sometimes, but anyway, let me flip the camera around and I'll show you how I do this. Right, like I said, this is going to be difficult doing it with one hand, but this little spike tool, work your way in there, and then you just pull that rubber up over there, and this is the time now where the window needs a bang from the outside just to push it in. Let me just give it a couple of hits. I've got to put the camera down, because otherwise I'm going to fall arse over tip and probably fall head first out of the car. So back in the tip. Right, literally a couple of swift punches, and you can see that's gone in a lot further. So just carry on working your way up there. You can see the window rubber kind of rests on the edge. Oh, this is so difficult. I've got to tuck all this in as well. So, oh yeah, there we go. That's sort of tucked in. But yeah, you can see it's not tucking over the lip. I don't know how well you can actually see that. So now is the time. Once again, needs a couple of thumps on the outside. Look at that headliner, looks awful, doesn't it? So, but there we go. Yeah, so that needs a couple of whacks on the outside again. Let me do that, get back again. As you can see, it's kind of pushed in a bit. Oh God, I'm really trying to find it hard to balance all doing this, but that little bit there hasn't gone in, so let's get that behind there, pop it out. Then you can actually, it's also got to go behind that as well. So once the glass is actually in, I will go back to this and pop that C-pillar trim back behind the rubber there. But yeah, it's starting to come through. I'm going to go this way. There you go, and you probably can, there you go, you can push that round with your fingers. That didn't go too well, did it? But there we go. So yeah, it's quite an easy way of doing it, I find. It's not, hold on, I've got to get myself off the floor. So yeah, it's not without its faults. You know, you have got to be very, very careful if you use one of these to not pierce the rubber. So you're literally just using it as a little hook just to pull down and overlap that little flap of rubber over the window seam. But as I say, it's the way I've always done these, and it's never failed me. And I've had a couple of tight windows before, and I have torn the rubber with it, so you know, I've not been perfect every time, but like I say, it's worked for me. So hopefully that might help someone out. I mean, you can do it with a screwdriver, just a flat blade screwdriver, and can just kind of pull the rubber out a little bit at a time. So you're sort of hooking it out with a flat blade screwdriver, but I find that absolutely perfect. So right, hopefully that's maybe helped someone out. And yeah, now you can see how bad my headliner is in here. It's all floppy, isn't it? But hey, floppy is good sometimes. Right, got my new glass in, so that's all done now. And that's really it for today. I mean, I don't start work for another, what's the time? 11 o'clock in the morning now, so I've been down here about 2.5 hours. Obviously painting them bits which are now just on the back of the truck. I love pointing at things in my camera, don't I? Keep on doing that. So yeah, so I've done the windows, I've done the seam trims, I've rubbed them down, I've painted them. That's as much as I can really do for the day, so that's all I'm going to do. Back indoors and a little bit of a relax before work, and some food of course. So right, thanks again for watching, and take care. See you again soon.